Hey guys, welcome to another one. This one is a requested video from a gentleman. He wanted to know how we control his baits a bit deeper without a downrigger. So what I was going to do today is just give you a quick rundown on the poor man's downrigger, or what we used to call a poor man's downrigger. I'm thinking we might have to change the name because nowadays the lead's getting quite expensive, so maybe a new name. But anyway, it's a very simple technique and trick. It won't take long to show you. It works extremely well when you're trawling dead baits or live baits, especially in like close reefs if you're looking for mackerel, or if you want to put them down deep and slow trawl for a snapper or something. It's just a good way to get your baits down deep without spending a fortune, like hundreds of dollars on a downrigger. Okay, so let's get into it, guys. So I've got just a basic trawling outfit here. You can use whatever trawling outfit for this rig you've got, won't matter, but this is my little 10 kilo short stroker, old school Speedmaster. And the rig is very, very simple. So when you're trawling baits, dead baits or live baits, you want an inline hook. So in other words, the hook needs to be straight all the way through. You don't want an offset, because offset, you know, it will spin. Okay, so you want your inline hook, first thing. And then for this rig, it's very, very simple. I'll pull some trags up tight. Yep, I'll pull some line out. I'm just going to show you. Okay. So you got the hook. You got your leader already on. That's it. Leader can be whatever length you like. That's personal choice. Couple of meters, 10 meters, 20 meters, a meter. That doesn't really matter. That's up to you. But when I'm trawling, I always run mono when I'm trawling. I don't like using braid for trawling. I never have. I prefer mono. Which makes it a bit easier for this rig too. If you're using braid, you're going to need to run a really long leader so you can connect your sinker to the end of the mono, okay, and keep it a few meters away from your bait. So you need a really long leader if you're going to run braid. So, but with mono it's easy. So what we've got, say between your hook you put a live bait or dead bait on there, throw it off the back of the boat while you're in idle, because this is only for idling. You're only idling, you're not going any faster. Let out about, roughly I do this about 20 metres. Same as a downrigger, guys. I run about 20 metres on a downrigger too, but with this rig, same, about 20 metres, roughly. It doesn't have to be exact, but roughly 20 metres away from what we're going to do, your sinker here. So throw your bait out, let out 15, 20 metres, hopefully about 20. And then what you want are just rubber bands. And these are a size 16, okay? Remember that, that's really important. It needs to be a size 16, okay? Size 16 rubber band. And while your bait's out, grab your line and your rod tip, and like you're putting on if you ever used outriggers or downriggers or anything else, you can pull the line, you know, tight, fairly snug, and then we just twist the rubber band, okay, around the line, like so. Usually do it around about 10 times or so, because you don't want it slipping, that's the main bit. About 10 times or so. Then you've got a loop on one end, you've got a loop on the other end. So you put the top loop there, through, you know, you go back through the bottom loop, like so. And then you got that. You can see the rubber band's twisted on the line, and you got a loop there. Okay, like so. Now, it's hard to show you this, but now with your loop, you've got your band on there. Now with your loop, you just get a snapper lead. Usually for this to work well, run about a 12 ounce. You want a bit of weight to it so it actually pulls your bait down. So I run about a 12 ounce and just loop your sinker on. Just put the rubber band through, loop your sinker on like so. There it is. There's your, basically, you can see that. There's your weight. So you got that. You do that about 20 metres up from the hook, so you got about 20 metres back there. You got your live bait swimming or your dead bait trawling, whatever, on your inline hook, okay, or ganked hooks, inline ganked hooks, or whatever you got the bait on. And there's your sinker. Now all you do is, while you're in idle, is drop it down to the desired depth, okay. Coloured braid would be handy if you're fishing deeper water. But I usually just guesstimate, and you can usually, if your sounder's set up properly, you can actually see your sinker and your line going down on your, you know, through your sounder, so you'll get an idea if you're down 10 metres, 20 metres, you'll see it on your sounder if it's set up properly. And I just, depending on what I'm trawling for, if I'm trawling for mackerel, I'll go to them about 10 metres off the bottom. If I'm trawling in the shallow water for snapper and reef fish, they mixed reef fish, I drop it down to about 5 metres off the bottom. Okay? And then just a slow trawl around the edge of your reefs, around your bait schools. Now that's the other thing with this, if you're out wider, say for mackerel and things, look for bait schools, see what depth they are, set this to the depth of the bait school and just trawl around the bait schools. But that's all it is. We used to call it a poor man's downrigger. You got your sinker on there, your bait's going to be out there, and okay, trawling away. But the only problem with this rig is, like I said, nowadays lead's getting quite expensive, can be quite expensive, and with the bigger sinkers on here, they'll keep your baits down and swim, but when you get a strike, a fish hits it and takes off, a lot of the time the dam will break, which is good for you fighting the fish. So it's you and the fish, there's no weight, and the rubber band will stay there, it won't go in the water, it'll stay in there. You can just wind it onto your reel and peel it off later, take it off later. It's only a couple of metres from the top, so you can take it off later. But just wind it through your guides onto your rod. It won't go in the water. But you might lose a couple of sinkers. Okay? That's the downside, it's a couple of sinkers. But it is an easy rig, it's easy to tie up. Just get some rubber bands, guys, at home and practice. And you can see it just sitting there, just bouncing away. Your bait's back there, you can drop this down whatever depth and just slow trawl live and dead baits. It really is that simple. But you might lose a few sinkers, that's all. But still, it ends up being cheaper than a downrigger. And if you've got some lead laying around at home, go buy yourself a mould or something, make even snapper leads. Okay? But that was a requested video. A gentleman just wanted to know, I think he said he was in Thailand or somewhere, and he wants to put some baits down deep, but they can't get downriggers. He wanted to know a different method. This is the simpler method. I'm sure they've got sinkers over there, I'm sure they've got rubber bands. Yeah, and this will work for you, it really will. It works a treat, but it is for slow trawling, so just an idle and live baits, dead baits. You can even use lures with this, but nothing with bibs and diving. Like if you've got bibs, it's going to be too much drag, and it's just going to pull, you're not going to get the depth you want. Dead baits, live baits, no drag, you'll get at whatever depth. And if you are trolling lures, just something with no bib, so it doesn't pull back, doesn't create too much drags. A bib will actually, you know, it'll pull this up in the water column, it won't go down to the desired depth. And too much drag on the rod, and you won't be travelling at speed to get the lure working properly anyway. So you'll need to go up the speed, and when you go up the speed, this will drag up through the water column, the water pressure. So lures with bibs won't work. No bibs or baits, okay? I hope that made sense. That sort of went off sideways. Anyway, I think you got the drift. So that's it, guys. This is a very, very simple rig for putting baits down deep trawling. And once again, end of the video. If you like the videos and the tips and tricks I do, guys, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe, it does really help the channel out, and that'd be very much appreciated. And we'll see you again shortly. I think we're going back to the snapper ones after this. This is a quick requested video. And then we'll do a couple more snapper ones, and we'll go off to another species. And sometime in between, guys, we'll go fishing when the wind backs off. Some stage. Okay.